I think I'm on. Good evening, folks. Sorry I didn't give anybody a notification or anything. Um, but happy holidays. The time has almost come. God bless everybody. Thank you for the support on my channel. I'm unfroze, so we're rising straight to the top. And I was watching some things, and I came by a thing from a video from Standing on Business with Eric Foss. And I'm watching Eric, and this Dom Chicali and Joey Merlino, they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it's like the mob soap opera, but whatever gets views, Joey Merlino is gonna get more views in the title thumbnail than Dom is. So Dom is gonna just keep riding that game. Dom's gonna keep, you know, Dom's gonna keep uh trying to perpetuate that game for views, because if you just put Dom's name in a title, it's going to get X amount of views. If you put Joey Merlino in the title, it's going to get a number of views. So I mean, as far as hustling a channel, that's that's obvious. Of course, that's what happens. I do it, everything. But I'm just gonna tell old mob story. I mean, I did the bash game and all that kind of stuff, but I did I got stories, and wherever it goes, it goes. I talked about Mike back in the day, but wherever it goes, it goes. I got stories. So wherever that goes, I'll hang my hat on it. But this Eric Foss, hey EB23 Debbie, but this standing, this guy, uh, I don't really know his background. Standing on Business with Eric Foss, but he's like a gangster, but not for gangster. I mean, he's probably a tough guy being a fighter, but his mind is gangster. So what does that mean? The truth serum, his mind has a level of common sense, intelligence, logic, and streets. And you know, that's you can equate that with like gangster. Gangster could have a lot of different interpretations with different vernacular or this or that, but this is mob tube soap and all that. But I think Eric was in here before. I think Eric was in my comment in my comments before. But Dom is making these outrageous things. When I see you, this and that, you know, and oh, you like him? Well, I'm trying to remain neutral. I watched one of the other videos, and I had to turn it off because you look at it through a different perception and lens, and everybody has the right to look at stuff through their thoughts, belief systems, and everything else. So of course we're all different. Thanks for coming, EB23 and Debbie. But standing on business with Eric Foss, if I had to be uh in a foxhole, for a thinker and otherwise, I'll take this guy here. I never watched him once, but I like. So let's just hear. I'm not going to show you. Let's just hear what he's got to say. This is Standing on Business with Eric Foss. He's got a channel. Check him out. Very intelligent guy. Very intelligent guy.
Welcome to Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Today's a special episode that we're filming. This is our holiday party, Joe.
Yeah, we did this every year since the '89. The kids are not here yet. You see all the stuff in the background, gifts, bikes, we got
over 120 families.
120 families. We've been doing it, and you get people messaging saying we're doing it for likes and
Yeah,
clicks.
so you're doing it for social media.
Yeah, for social media. I did this in '89. There was no cell phones. There was no fucking Instagram. There was no fucking social media.
You see,
we've been doing it.
the haters, like, I don't know if Dom insulted him, saying, "Oh, he just did the giveaway." No, you know what? The people don't understand that a lot of mobsters, and they were really, a lot of them were Christians. I mean, and they were generous. Old man Sam at the club, he was generous. He was generous. And he used to tell me, don't tell anybody. When I had to go places and hand envelopes or run all these errands, I was a runner. I was a runner for that crew. And, and I was like, wow, what a good guy. I mean, he might have been vicious when he was younger, but these people donated. They didn't donate. There wasn't social media and getting views and clicks and all that. And, you got Dom. Dom should know that. Dom should know that. I'm just going to try to remain neutral, but I like how this Eric Foss interprets it. Standing on business with Eric Foss.
And the girl, my girl's back, Sherry Honkley, the best. She's bringing 100 kids, and we've been doing this all week. We gave over $100,000 out.
Yes,
between
wow.
Donations. We're going to give out $50,000 a day in donations. We gave
Coats,
bikes, toys, sneakers.
I mean, we've been going around South Philly.
We've been going to our neighborhood, going house to house, and for the unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you to everybody who donated to help us out also.
But they want to badmouth us like we're doing something wrong. The only thing you rats fucking did was make kids orphans for Christmas. Instead of giving them gifts, you made them orphans. You put their fathers in jail. That's what you did.
They don't think about that, though.
No, nobody thinks about that.
And
lied on their people. Lied on the people who put them in jail so they could get out of jail.
Yeah.
And their poor kids are orphans. They got no fathers at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Staying on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss. All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about something going on in the community and stuff like that. We're going to talk about Joey Merlino and Dom Sicali. What's going on there with this little back and forth? I showed the clips of Joey. I'm not going to put up any clips of Dom because I don't know, he might sue me or something. I don't know. I don't know Dom, so I don't think that I'm going to put a clip up of him. But we will go and talk about what he said about Joey. I'm not going to sit here either, and I just want everybody to understand something. Everybody knows Dom cooperated, he's a rat or whatever, and Joey's going to come back home rat and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to go back and forth like that. We all know that. But I just want to break down a better perspective. I ain't going to say better, but a different perspective that I don't think Joey and them are going to cover. But I think they need it covered, and they want it covered, but they're just not covering it because they're in the midst of the fight. So here's the thing. I'm going to point out some hypocrisies from you, Dom. Now, first thing, your title is basically Joey Merlino crossed the line for views. Dom, stop. Joey does not have to mention nobody for views.
Bring it.
His name is in my title on this, okay?
Mine too.
Your name is in there too. But people are clicking for his name. More people than they are for you.
Right.
That's just a fact. More people than there are for me, stuff like that. So you as a guy who does this stuff, and me as a guy who does this stuff, knows that if we put Merlino's name in something, we're going to give views. That's a fact. Just like John Gotti. Same thing. Okay. So that was so hypocritical of you to do that. Okay. And then you actually have one of your subscribers or whatever in your chat. And hey, I'm one of your subscribers also. I watch your show. So you have one of your subscribers in your chat that sits here and says, damn, you're calling Joey out for this. That's hypocritical because you got his name in your views. In your title to get views. You called your own subscriber a hater for pointing that out.
Like,
come on, man. And then you explain, well, we got to put names and titles and all that stuff. But at the same time, you said he crossed the line for view.
See, I like the way this guy thinks, this Standing on Business with Eric Foss. It's so obvious like that he put his name in the title to get the views, and then and like Joey Merlino has a much more recognizable name than everybody that's left on YouTube besides Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull. I don't think Johnny A is doing any more videos. God bless him and his family. I know he's going through some rough times. But it's plain and simple. Standing on business with Eric Foss, he's got a small channel like me. But I mean, just because he doesn't have a recognizable name, he knows the gangster thinking, which sometimes could be complicated, or sometimes it could be common sense and logic, and in which he is stressing right here. So let's check him out.
Now, I don't know exactly what happened between him and that guy, Anthony Orlata or whatever. But I do know that, it's probably due to the guy cooperated or whatever. He hangs around Sam the Bull, whatever. So Joey says probably some things about them as a group, Now he probably took a shot at Joey. And Joey responded with another shot. Would you say Joey hit below the belt and Joey's a punk for doing this? I call bullshit on that.
Straight.
And here's what I want you to do, Dom. Turn your hat backwards. Because that's the Dom I want to send this message to. The one who you say when you turn the hat backwards, you're back into that street guy mode, that prison guy mode, that gangster mode, whatever you want to call it mode. Okay? Now that you got your hat on backwards, buddy, you did a stretch in prison of like a decade straight. You didn't cooperate, nothing like that. Okay, you did that as a young man also. So what I'm going to tell you is the same thing all of us who've done a stretch in prison like that. There's certain things that are off limits because things happen to us. We lose family members. People betray us. People pass away. Certain things, and it's very tough to get through. So that with us, while you got your hat on backwards, is stuff we don't talk about. I don't care if we hate the other, whatever. We don't do that, Dom, and you know that. So, by the guy Anthony doing that, it opened up a door. So Joey could take below the belt shot at him or whatever, or Joey's going to. And you're only mad at Joey for that, or talking about Joey for that. And then, I don't know what your point is, because you go out of your way to get in contact with the guy Anthony or whatever, and then you actually come out and say, I can't believe he's not doing nothing about this. I'm livid and all this. Okay, let's talk about this first. Now, I don't know Anthony. Maybe Anthony isn't that mad about what Joey said, because maybe Anthony's like, damn, I took a pretty bad shot at this guy. And now he came back. Okay, I opened the door for that. But now you're like, oh, what are you doing? Are you instigating? What do you want him to do, Dom? What do you want him to do? Because you do that a lot. What do you want him to do? What would you do, Dom?
Straight up.
Oh, if it was me. Okay, let's get into some things like that about what would you do, because you take shots at Joey about that also. You said Joey was in West Palm Beach, and he was in the same place that some people who ratted were at. And Joey didn't do nothing. What'd you want him to do? What'd you want him to do? Just get up in public and just go nuts? And first off, that's not even his style. I would assume that's not even his style.
Yeah.
That's like my style.
He tries to call out Joey for being a punk because some rats or something might have been down in Florida, and Dom is saying, "Oh, he should have accosted them and confronted." They're not 25 years old anymore. Joey Merlino gambled 4 or 5 times and didn't rat. He rolled the dice for win or lose and didn't rat. And then at 61 years old, Dom's trying to call him a punk because of some silly kindergarten exchange or something, because somebody was seen on a beach. That is insane. Oh, let me just go start a fight here on the beach and have these confrontations, Well, I maybe you could feel a lot safer going and starting fights and stuff if you cooperated with the government, because maybe the government might not slap your hand as hard and say, "Oh well, he just got angry, and we're not going to do nothing about him going after some people because he's already got a relationship with the government." So Joey Merlino's public enemy number one. He wants to chill out. He don't want to get into legal hassles at this point of his life. And Dom's like calling him a punk or something. I don't understand that. That's why when I watched that other video before, I had to turn it off. I like the way this standing on business with Eric Foss thinks. I like the way this guy thinks.
When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was in prison, a lot of that. But, back in the day, you know what I mean, fighting in the middle of restaurants, fighting, and that's not their style. So what did you expect them to do? What do you want them to do?
Right.
Does that make him weak because he didn't just destroy them right there? That doesn't even make sense. What would you do? What would you do? As a matter of fact, we got a good one. How about when that lady stole your money just a few months back or whatever, that she ripped you off or whatever? You didn't go hunt her down, beat up her and her husband, turn your hat on backwards. You contacted a federal judge.
Whoa.
It had nothing to do with it.
Wow.
My point is this. I'm not saying, Dom, you should have went out there and did anything to this lady or nothing, or that you're a soft guy or whatever, because you didn't. But you actually went to a federal judge, which I thought was goofy because he's got nothing to do with the case. But what I'm saying is this. How can you sit here and disparage Joey because he's just not coming after people in public and getting himself locked up? Let's do that. Now, once again, when you talk about certain things, you're like, you still are that guy. Let's go into a little bit of you. You were that guy. You have put in work. I believe you can fight. I 100% believe that. But at the end of the day, dude, when you went and told or whatever, I understand that you're still capable. They don't take your capabilities away, obviously. Did what you've done, and you're still this. And like I said, I think you're probably a tough dude. But you can't call out a man like Joey. No way, shape, or form. You see, one thing that you, Joey, and myself know, we know the government's corrupt. So Joey has had to deal with that more so than we have, Dom. But you know how corrupt the government is. And that's my point. So you're calling out, you can't call him out. This man let his nuts hang. He let his nuts hang 5 times on the damn road. Like he said, it's like going on the road and winning the Super Bowl. I didn't even know.
5 times he rolled the dice. 5 times he rolled the dice, fighting cases and everything else. And, I'm not saying Dom isn't a tough guy and he did work and all that. There's a lot of guys that did. There's a lot of guys. I seen them, and I saw guys that I didn't agree with in the crew and stuff like that. And, I didn't think they were good gangsters, to rate a gangster, if we're going to rate a gangster. So, yeah, there's a lot of tough guys like Dom in the mob. They're a dime a dozen, and a lot of them did time, but I didn't put them on a pedestal or anything like that they had some higher credibility or toughness and all that. I judge by the cerebral. I judge by common sense, logic, and then just reading, like put a read on somebody, but I didn't agree what he was talking about. I found this standing on business with Eric Foss. He's got my channel's the smallest channel out there, but this guy standing on business with Eric Foss, he's been around. He's been around. What's up, John Martin? What's up? I couldn't take the pressure. I wanted to do a video. And of course, I put Joey Merlino. The soap opera continues. like Chicklets Dom. He just keeps poking Joey Merlino, and then he's talking nonsensical stuff. So I'm showing a clip of Standing on Business with Eric Foss, a regular dude. I believe he did time, but whatever his resume is, he thinks he's been around, and he sounds like he's book smart and street smart. And I like the way he breaks it down between this feud between Joey Merlino and Dom C.
5 damn times he let his nuts hang and fought the feds.
Yeah.
And beat them on a lot of stuff. They had to trump up things on him and stuff. And you think that guy's scared of you or any man?
Right.
Shut up. Shut up. Don't do that.
I like this guy.
Because that's not true.
I like this guy.
Come on, man. Get the man his flowers where he deserves it.
Right.
Look. In the clip, Joey's response, Joey and Snuff. They know what the play is. It's just that, it's going to be the play. They know that you want them, use them for clicks and views and these fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, also, you say something about
YouTube mob soap opera. Dom knows that he wants to get a war, a mob, a YouTube war, just like Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull and all that. I talk smack about Mike Francis and things, but I'm just going to do old mob stories. I got some more coming up, but I saw this video and I was like, I like the way this Eric Foss thinks, because this is how a gangster in a crew would think, a legitimate crew would think, with common sense and logic. Well, as well as any civilian off the street can just watch something and read through it. And if you had some knowledge on that topic or something, then you could critique it. If you could be more qualified to critique something, if you know the ways and means of the rules of the mob and certain things that happen. But let's continue. Thanks, John Martin, for jumping in. Happy holidays to you, John.
And, there's been people saying something about, Joey just does all this, the giving out the turkeys and the Christmas gifts and all that. He just does that for basically social media and stuff, and just to look better and stuff. Listen, let me tell you a little story about Joey. I had heard of him. I really did. I heard of him plenty of times before I even seen him, like on TV or anything. So one day we're in the joint, and they watch that A&E stuff and all them historical things, and they put Joey on there. So somebody's like, "Oh yeah, that's the dude from Philly where they're watching Joey." So I watched some of it, and they have their old historical clips and all. I seen a clip though. I seen a clip with him, and this is back in the day, passing out food and all that kind of stuff, the turkeys, the bicycle, all that kind of stuff. I seen him doing that back in the day, before all this stuff was advertised. This was like FBI surveillance that they're putting up. This wasn't like, him doing this big thing. So the guy's been doing that forever. So what you're trying to do, it seems, on a lot of things, is when you're trying to come out and make him look soft or whatever, and phony, you're trying to turn the streets on him. Dom, it's not going to work.
No, see,
The street people.
that's a great point right there. I never said it enough in all the freaking things, my videos and stuff, but a lot of the guys in the one crew had a Christian upbringing, and they got into the mobster life. They had the Jesus picture, they had, pictures of Jesus in the house, the communion pictures and all that, the 10 Commandments. They were brought up with a Christian element. And if they were serial killers or whatever they were, they still, it sounds, people might not believe it, but they had a heart and compassion. And I was well educated in psychology, and and a couple of the guys that I was hanging with, that I'd be driving them around at night. They would get drunk, and then they'd be talking about, you think I'm going to go to hell and all that. So that Christianity, faith-based upbringing was in the back of their mind while they were doing crazy things in the mob. But but as well as that, they were doing uh giveaways and crushed it. Like, they were doing compassionate things for the downtrodden, which is in the Bible. Yeah. I know Joy Merlino. He's a good stand-up guy. It's all business, brother. The life is all business if you're a serious gangster. Yep. But you see YouTube and it's the soap opera, and I've done my fair share of bashing. I'm not going to be the YouTube sheriff anymore, but I got a lot of stories. Wasn't that a crazy Christmas story when I got stuck in that conveyor belt trying to go up there and grab that stuff out of that building? Thank you, Jesus. MC, far too many advertisements. I got advertisements on this video. MC, I got ads. I made it to the big times. They froze my channel for 2 years. I got censored. I made 3 cents. Pardon me for grabbing that 3 cents off the table. Well, I got ads. I'm moving up. I'm going to just be smooth and try not to swear. I'm not going to do any more political things. We're going to go gangster. We're going to go gangster. And forgive me for the ads, but I got to eat too, all right? Jeez, I'm not an old-time gangster that's got money buried. I'm over here, doing my thing. While we're on the subject, there's a link in the description to the book. There's a Cash App. I know times are hard. I don't want to sound like a beggar. Let's get back to the show.
Hard turning on Joey. It's just not going to happen. The underdogs aren't turning on Joey. I'm just sorry. It's just he's earned his keep. So that's not going to work. And the only reason why I'm coming out with this video, and like I said, I'm not hitting you below the belt. We're not talking about none of this other stuff. I could say all kinds of stuff and go back on, but I'm not. I'm just sitting here telling the truth. So I hope that you understand that. But we're just not going to. No, we're going to ride with Joey. Now, there's the base that's going to ride with you. So Joey's got his base, you got your base. I'm talking to the people who are undecided, who really want to know what's going on, who don't care about certain things, who don't care about, the back and forths and all, and they just want to see the hypocrisy, and I'm pointing it out because I think that the narrative.
Hey, Eric. He's in my chat. He's in my chat. Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I know you were in my chat before, and I said it. I thank you for your support. People, check out Standing on Business with Eric Foss. We're coming up. Mike Francis, they're getting, they're getting long in the tooth. So we're coming up a little bit here. And when there's mob soap opera, there's mob tube soap opera, and everybody has their allegiance, they gravitate toward this, so they'll stand up for this person, and it becomes like pity patty and talk smack and all this and that kind of stuff. But some of this stuff is obvious, common sense. I try to communicate it, articulate. I'm good with the English language, and I try to put it out there, but you're not going to please everybody all the time. They don't care, they're just going to stand on it. But I'm watching Eric Foss, and it's like, I don't know his past. Maybe he did a stretch or something, but he gained knowledge. So I don't know what his resume is. He could be an altar boy or he could be Charles Manson, but he gained knowledge. You could gain knowledge in any situation and make formidable decisions and this and that. Some of this stuff is obvious. I like what he just said. He's got to put. I put Joey Merlino in the. I put Joey Merlino in there for views and everything else. I did my time. What the hell? They had me gone my channel for 2 years. I've done 600 videos, so I put it out there. I put it out there and everything, but we got to rise. People stand on whoever they like, but maybe if you like vanilla so much, maybe you just should try chocolate once in a while. Don't have tunnel vision. Life is too short. It doesn't matter how many subscribers somebody has that validates knowledge. Well, the truth serum only has 1,000 subscribers. Well, he must not know what he's doing. Eric Foss must only have like 40,000 25,000 subscribers. Well, you can't correlate subscribers of a channel, the number of subscribers to a channel, to knowledge. Because I ran around, he ran around, street smart, book smart. So you can't just say, oh, that's a small channel and they probably don't know what they're talking about. I got the best mob stories on planet Earth, but I never read it and I don't have immunity. So I can't just be up there calling out, oh, Tony Smith back there and this and that. And then people are going, well, what's his name? Oh, Jets Whack, what's his name? Oh, you did over 20 years, Eric? But no, right, you're not Charles Manson. No disrespect, bro. Yeah. Yeah, my godfather was in prison. He did a lot of work for mostly the Colombo family and maybe a couple other families. But he read. He was so well read. He had knowledge, so anybody could gain knowledge. Anybody could gain knowledge. I mean, so don't be fooled, because I was around Mike Francis years ago, not buddy, this and that, just brief periods, boom, 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 hit the road, boom, 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 hit the road. And, I did a lot of bashing like that, but I'm not going to be the sheriff of that. I got too screwed up. Then I got censored because of politics. I'm just going to, now that my channel's back on, I got a ton of stories. We'll rock and roll on that. Thank you, Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I like thinkers. I like thinkers. I was nobody. I never got made, but I was asked a lot of questions from the wise guys on a lot of different topics. Jojo, what about this? Just hypothetical speaking. They say hypothetical speaking. They're gonna do it. They're doing it. Well, if this ever happened, what would Because I was always trying to think. You got to prepare for the worst. So thank you, Mr. Eric Foss. Thank you. Because Eric is breaking this video down 100%. It's spot on. This is spot on. This is like forensic psychologist. See, I get off into these fields of knowledge and studies. I got degrees in every topic, but it didn't serve me because I'm 61 years old. I'm not wealthy. I wasted all my knowledge, 4.0 in school and business and all that. I went nuts and got involved in crazy things. Then my head got screwed up. I went down the wrong road, but I like when somebody can demonstrate spot on stuff. Now, I'm not the end all of knowledge, I'm not the end all of knowledge, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. Josie Wales, not anybody. There are a lot of blooming idiots out there. Knowledge and definitely wisdom escapes them. I had book smarts and street smarts, and I still screwed up. I screwed up. But as long as we're alive, we still have a chance. I'm 61. I chain smoke, but we still have a chance. So thank you, you good people. I like talking to the people in here. And Eric, are you sure you're getting all of your subs, getting notifications? Because I don't get them for you. I found you on flipping through. Well, they might, I was on the bad list. They censored me. and all I was able to do my videos, but you know the algorithm. I was on the caboose of the algorithm. It'd be a miracle. It'd be a miracle to find me. So I think my subscribers, they're still sticking it in a little bit. You know, I don't want to get them mad, but I think because I heard that before, Eric, that they're not. Nobody says I'm not getting notifications. You know, maybe I gotta just behave a little longer. Maybe I'm not gonna mess up this time. Okay, moderator, I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm gonna be a good boy, and I'm gonna try to be a Christian. And I'm not gonna swear. I'm not gonna swear. You know, the smartest man I ever met was a Hell's Angel who dropped out of high school. Yeah, I met some bikers before too. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch, Eric. I might go live tomorrow. Come on. Yeah, I will, bro. I will. I might be busy for. I gotta hit the notification. I gotta hit the notification. If you're on Facebook, we could talk in the chat there. I don't. Maybe you're not a Facebook guy. Those bikers, the Hell's Angels, and the road agents, Josie Wales. They were some serious dudes. Yeah, they you know, if you're running an operation, if you're running a organized operation with whatever your brand name is, there's some smart thinkers in there. I witnessed. I don't mean to talk smack about the mob, but if there's a crew of 10 guys, I'd say 40% were real thinkers of crews, not captains, underboss, and all that. I mean, that's just my opinion. 40% might have been thinkers. Thinkers. Now, I'm not the end knowledge of, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't want to be pompous and present that statement sideways, but these guys went down so stupidly. They went down stupidly. I know it's easy to critique, but I used to have code words, and you know, it's a long, complicated story. Because if we were in person, and because I didn't like to talk on the phone, and then I would just say these are the code words, and that's how we're gonna talk. If you don't agree to code words, then you're a rat. If we communicate on a phone and you're telling me you don't want to use code words that make sense, code words that make sense in a conversation, then you're a rat. You're a rat. So I never had any power enough. It was only to talk to Sam, the boss, once in a while, and it might have been through a second party. So, but them bikers, they were. I knew a few guys from 81. A lot of those bikers were selling those mushrooms back in the day. I met a couple. They made money too. That was organized crime too. You know, you want to talk about a organized operation? Those bikers had it going on. There was a couple bikers. My crew all knew sign language. That's how we would communicate. Oh yeah. You know, you could always say tickets to the football game. Well, you've heard my videos. I just say bread and milk, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I didn't do violence and all that. I was crapping my pants half the time because I made mistakes around these crazies. And if it wasn't for my godfather, who they knew was a killer and did work for the Colombos, if it wasn't for him, but then he finally told me, you see, I was like bipolar. I'd be submissive. And then I'd go, take your gun off. I'll fight you. Like, how stupid am I? You know, but, you know, so I was around stuff and seen it all. Vinny Hernandez, California. Debbie Monty. Thank you, sis. Merry Christmas. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my name. Joseph Monty. That's me. I was born in Brooklyn, and my godfather from Brooklyn, of course. So he became my godfather. And then years later, I needed his help. Yeah, we got caught because one guy got shot and could no longer use his hands and started talking. Oh, come on, man. You should write a book, bro. You should write a book. Michael O'Brien. Greetings, Vincent. Vincent, you got some people in here. You got some people. Now, I want to see what Eric Foss has to say here. What we got going on here right now is Standing on Business, Eric Foss video. And he's breaking it down because this Joey Merlino and this Dominic C, they're going at it. And it is like a mob soap opera. But let's finish up with Eric Foss here.
It's fun a lot of times on Joey, just the way Joey carries himself. Joey's got a rough stance. You're going to get what you get from him. That's who he is. He apologizes for nothing. He doesn't apologize for who he is. He stands on what he stands on. Do I agree with everything Joey Merlino says? No. No. But I agree with a lot of what he says. Do I know the type of person he is? Yes, I do. Is he tough? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a tough guy. He's not scared of people. So quit trying to do that. And for the other people, I just want you guys to understand, these guys are coming out with all this professional stuff, and they want to wear their little stuff and all and act like they're changed their lives and everything like that. And they're so great. He's such a horrible person and stuff like that. I just want to point out the hypocrisies here. So, on to this. You sat here and take a shot at Little Snuff and say, oh, yeah, I got word. That's who they're going at. The feds are going at. Where do you get all these words?
Yeah, Eric, if you're still in here, Eric, I got word. Why? Because what? You still in bed? He's still in bed with the feds? I got word. Where would you get word? Off the mailman delivering the mail? Where would you get word that, they're coming down on Little Snuff? Now, what do you got to pick on Little Snuff for? He's entertaining. It's entertainment. Jimbo Slice, Dom the Donkey Chicali acts like a tough guy. Nobody that doesn't train to actually fight is tough. A regular guy fighting compared to a real fighter. It's like kids playing T-ball compared to pro ball players. Jimbo Slice, what's up, Cugini? Michael O'Brien. So, I got word that their feds are looking. Why are you attaching yourself to the feds, bro? I mean, why are you attaching yourself to the feds? I tried to be arbitrary. I tried to be neutral in that other video, but it wasn't adding up to
Where? How come you get all the streets? No, you don't. You're just wishing bad. Let me break this down for you, Dom. Little Snuff doesn't break the law. He don't break the law. And you can't sit here and say that Little Snuff will snitch. How do you know? I've seen it, Dom. I've seen the big tough guys telling the guy who they thought was going to go. They didn't tell. I've seen it plenty of times. So have you, Dom. So that's another thing. Stop being phony on that kind of stuff. But anyway, going after him with all this federal talk and all, see, you're talking tough. And in the same breath, you're talking feds.
Yeah, that's bad.
Joey's out of there. The feds already bothered Joey. You think that you're going to discover something or you know something that the feds are, you're an idiot for saying that.
That's bad.
That man ain't breaking no law. What my channel's about, bro, like, I know you don't watch me if you hear this, but we're about government corruption. We're about prison. I tell us little stories about my prison time with my officers and stuff like that. And I don't bring nobody on here and bash them. There's people I could bash, but I just won't mention them, because that's not what my show's about. Now, let's talk about your show, what you're doing. Dom, you could sit here and go behind a paywall. Let me tell you this. if you stuck to just who you were and your stories and stuff like that, and didn't just bash people and have to make yourself out to be the greatest man and the biggest man all the time, and you just sat up there and told the truth.
Just tell your stories. That's right. I'm not even going to do the bashing that much because I did that with Mike because I felt bad for the guys that were dead. Mike Francis came out after everybody passed away and everything. And it was like the rest of the guys are doing life. My buddy Ange, he's ready to die in prison. And there's people, it looks like a movie. It looks like a movie. And well, this guy sent these guys to prison. It's not a movie. The families, the wife and children are in the prison parking lot crying. And, it's not like, it's not a movie. It's real life, So let's continue on with this. And, he's talking about, well, I got knowledge that the feds, well, how are you having inside knowledge about the feds? Joey Merlino fought the feds tooth and nails all the way. So you're making Joey Merlino look better, bro. That ain't gangster to me, because any gangster would know that.
About your stories, because you really were a capo. You really were around some badass dudes, and you were a bad dude. Tough guy, whatever you want to call it. People were scared of you, bro. I know who you are. And I'll say something about the subscribers. Like, okay, when I see your show, this kind of stuff, I'm not subscribed to your show for this. I will listen to your stories because, like I said, I don't look for all the other kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Look, it's real plain and simple. You cooperated or whatever. So at that point, it's like, okay, so what am I watching this guy for? Do I want to hear a bunch of tough stuff out of his mouth, or do I want to hear the history of some things and stuff like that? I prefer to hear the history of this stuff. I mean, that's just me. So what I'm saying is you're Ellen.
I got caught up in that, bashing Mike and all that, and it didn't rise my channel up anymore. Oh, I knew Mike back in the day. Some people like to hear the soap opera. Some people want to just hear some good old-fashioned mob stories, and that's where I'm going here. I'm my channel is back on, and that's where I'm going. I want to be a better Christian, and it's tough because we're sinners, but I want to be a better Christian and do the best I can, because now I got a chance to rise my channel up. But I still get peed off, and I still want to talk smack here and there. But, I put Mike Francis, Sammy the Bull, Joey Merlino in my thumbnails, and I get more views. If I just put a regular title, a regular thumbnail about Johnny Rigatoni took a walk in the park, it wouldn't get that many views. But I'm going to just have to do organic, and where it goes, it goes. That's all. Where it goes, it goes. Maybe I might check out the soap opera here and there, but, Vinny, you did 3.5 years. You did 6 altogether. Well, I'm glad you're out. Bro, I seen the life you lived the life. You have a lot of passion. Joy Merlino is a beast. Thank you, I'm not a tough guy. The tough guy brings his children up. That's tough. I mean, there's no bravado and macho and all that. What's that mean? Do you get a badge for being, there's no badge to that. We're all just trying to get through life and pay our bills. But a gangster is a guy that takes 2 buses to go to work to feed his wife and 2 kids. That's gangster. That's applaudable, That's applaudable. But this is entertainment, and the mafia has always been entertaining. Yesterday, today, and it will be tomorrow. So wherever my channel goes, I just want to tell some crazy wild stories. If they get views, they get views. Yeah. Vinny, I'm a homeowner now, changed my life. Good for you, Vinny. Good for you. Yeah. And we always have a chance to be better tomorrow. I wasted so much. Well, you can't second guess. I have a beautiful daughter. I did when I had to do things the right way, I was on point. I was on point, and I have an adult daughter, 35 years old, and she says, "I love you, Daddy." So whether I got a car, which I don't, whether I got a house, which I don't, whether I got money, which I don't, no matter what my possessions are, I got a 35-year-old daughter that's got a good occupation, and she still says, "I love you, Daddy." I'm the richest man in the world. That's all I need. That's good enough for me. My little baby girl. That's it. That's life. So the people that handle their business, they put food on the table. That's impressive. That's impressive. Mob stories are entertaining, and I got about 600 of them waiting in the wings. So we're gonna keep rolling. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, MM. Thank you, EB23, Michael O'Brien, Jimbo Slice, Standing on Business with Eric Foss, Deb. El Bruno passed away, huh? Josie Wales. Thank you, folks, for hanging out with me. Thank you. MC, John Martin. Yeah, so I like hearing this. I like hearing this Eric Foss because he's smart, you know. Smart guy. Sagittarius Journey.
Some of your subscribers, and I'm one of them. I mean, honestly, I'm biased. Obviously, I'm being on Joey's side no matter what. Because, like I said, I got to do it. Listen, look, no matter what, if Joey goes to the yard, I got to go with him. And that's just what it is. You know that. He knows that. I know that. And I'm talking about down with the head on backwards. I'm not talking about this one. So, yeah, like saying that about Little Snuff and things like that. That man's already went through some things in his life. And he's a young man. And that just seems like wishing bad. Negativity. Negativity's terrible, Dom. You're not going to make it like that. I mean, Joey came out a long time ago when all this first happened. And I remember when Sammy and Michael Francis all invited him on, Joey came right out and he told everybody, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. Next thing you know, you drew your little self in there, or big self, whatever, like big dog. You're sharper than you look, though. I know that. So don't think that I'm disparaging you. I'm not saying you're not a formidable person. But anyway, you drug yourself in that and got in there. Well, there, and then you got so happy when they nicknamed you Chicklets. That nickname sucks. Powder is your nickname with the no eyebrows and shit now.
No, bro.
But anyway, you got happy about that and stuff. So the truth of the matter is you wanted all this stuff for clicks and views. If you really told the truth, you would have to say, listen, man, you know, what that guy did was way below the belt for us prison guys and stuff. And you did that stretch. So you guys take personal shots at Joey all the time. So I don't want to hear all that. Joey's a punk for taking it to that level. Bullshit. Don't do it. Okay, what else? Because I had to take notes. Joey's scared. Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you this. This is advice for you, Dom. When you sit there and get all hyped up and stuff and say, if anybody comes down here, I'm going to lay you down. And yes, I will call the FBI after. If you got to lay anybody down, just get up out of there, bro. You're not Captain America. They're going to lock your ass up. You're a convicted felon, dummy. You know what I mean? So for some reason, you just think that the feds just love you, that the streets still love you, that this one, that you're just better than everybody. You're always the bigger man. In this situation, you're not. You're what you're calling these people, washwoman. That's what you're doing here. And it's sad because you've actually got the credibility in the stories from your past that you could talk about forever. I'm doing it with myself, bro.
Don't get tied up in all that silliness and make yourself look silly. You were around. I hit something here, but well, I'll just end that portion of Eric Foss. But like he says, you got enough stories, you got enough stories to keep your channel going and things like that. Don't get caught up on that. It doesn't make sense. And then people will wonder, what did you actually do in the mob? What did you actually do? Because if you're thinking like this illogical stuff now, how were you like an asset to the mob? Which you probably did. I'm not saying that you didn't do work or you did this or that, but if you're thinking like this now, was your thinking a little off center back then? Because you don't make sense. And I knew a lot of guys like that in the mob that didn't make sense. They didn't cooperate and they didn't make it. That's the way it goes. But it doesn't make sense that guys like that thought like that, and then they become a liability to the mob, and then they cooperated. Well, their logic and their schema of knowledge and their thinking apparatus was skewed. It probably didn't help him out in his mob life. And now, as a civilian, he's still thinking skewed. That's why I turned the video off the other day, because I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm not going to speak on him, or I got enough stories that are more entertaining than to talk about whatever he is. Josie Wales made a lot of money in the 80s and 90s. Wished I would have saved so much more. Oh, yeah, Josie, you and me both. But I was young and I had to put my child and stuff, so I was able to do that. Thank you, God, that I was able to try to be a good father and had a real close relationship, and able to do that. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of money. And herb. I like the herb way back, the reefer and all that. I was one of the first ones in America that had the hydro and all that, seeds from Sweden. And now they got it in the smoke shops, all this 32%, 64%, 50%, this high-tech herb and everything. But me and a friend and a botanist and a scientist from a university started that hydroponic, and the buds were on high times. It was a seed they called Amanda, Scandinavian seed. It was actually at high times. And I liked selling the herb way back then. I also worked at other jobs, regular type of jobs here and there, regular jobs. And the office where I was selling steel, the steel brokerage where I was selling steel, the owner there, it was part of a gambling ring. So that's when I started running around delivering the bread and milk all over the place. That's where I met Mike and all that. But I was into the selling marijuana way back then. High test, just it wasn't around. I sold little buds for $20, and if you had to go to work that day, I wouldn't recommend it. It was just all buds. Just take one hit. And I hope you don't have anything responsible you got to do that day. So that was pretty good. That was pretty good hustle to make a lot of money and all that. But I didn't sell harder drugs than that. There was an illegal search and seizure one time, and I had a long wool coat on. I was on the east side, and there was a there was two detectives that were corrupt, and their nickname was Batman and Robin, and they were corrupt. And I had a lot of weight inside my jacket in a plastic bag, of course, and I ended up getting these days. Thank you, Benny. And I was going to school at the time. I was going to college at the time for marketing management. I was going to college for marketing management. So the judge at the time was a black judge in a wheelchair with jerry curls, right? Jerry curls back then. The blacks, they used to wear jerry curls, the jerry curls. I thought maybe I got a shot with this guy, right? So my lawyer was a prominent lawyer that I knew from a restaurant. He worked for free. And so it was being postponed. And then these detectives and the DA, they were talking smack, but I think behind the scenes they knew that these detectives, Batman and Robin, they were busting drug dealers and they were keeping half the evidence. And then some of these guys behind the scenes were saying they didn't care. They didn't care. And they were saying, well, they're corrupt because we had 6 pounds, because it was the same charge over whatever limit. They were going to get the same charge. So then the eyebrows got raised. So make a long story short, this judge had enough. And I says, well, yeah, the guy, my attorney, Joseph Thomas, not here again, he said, no, we're going to settle this right now. He says, what are you doing? What else do you do for a living besides selling herb? I said, well, I'm a student over here. And he says, what do you take? What do you take? I says, I take up marketing management. And he goes, well, Mr. Monty, you want to explain to the court what marketing management is? So the first day of school, when you take that class, you learn the definition of marketing management. So I might as well tell you guys right now. Marketing management, Your Honor, any human activity directed at satisfying the needs and wants of consumers in the exchange process. So he says, what? Any human activity directed at satisfying the needs and wants of consumers in the exchange process. A little kid selling Kool-Aid for 5 cents. That's an exchange of anything, So he said, so you're marketing pot. Yes, my activity is satisfying the needs and wants. They like to smoke pot, so I supply them. So yes, my activities are satisfying the needs and wants of my customers in the exchange process. They give me money, I give them herb. He looked at me and he said, innocent, get out of here. I don't want to hear anything else, he says. And they had to seal the thing like there's some kind of process where it's like confidential or something or whatever. I can't think of the legal words, but I knew the word before. I'm getting old. But yeah, they were so I got away with that, thank God. But lucky that judge was in a good mood because he just said dismissed, whatever. Because I said the right amount of weight, and he thought I was nuts. And he was saying, well, you better have an attorney because you have to agree to say, I can't complain that I didn't have a lawyer or something. I didn't have ample representation, so anything I say can't be used. Whatever the process was, you got to sign and say, I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to complain about I didn't have it because it kept getting adjourned. It kept getting adjourned and adjourned and adjourned. So, yeah, folks should be able to choose how to live their lives as long as they hurt no one. Yeah, in the process. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, I mean, I got a lot of stories. Well, there's a story right there, but mm, they got a lot of that powerful herb out, and we were when that was in the infancy, way back they had Mexican. They just had mud Mexican. Then they had Sinsemilla. Wow, Sinsemilla. Woo, woo. That's real, you know. Wow, that's the best thing since sliced bread, Sinsemilla. And then when I had these scientists and botanists got some Scandinavian seeds to produce a high concentration of just, you know, and I couldn't sell it fast enough. I couldn't sell it fast enough. But it was wheelchair herb. I mean, you better not go to work. Yeah. Yeah. It was they had the skunk. They had the skunk, Josie. But yeah, they had this. Yeah. The THC was insane. And I had to tell, I was selling little buds, like little things like that, $40. $40. There's 21 hitters in there. So you're going to get 20 blotted out buzzes for $2 a buzz. And you're going to come back like there's no tomorrow. So that was good. That was a good yeah. We used to call it the mad scientist. All over Western New York, there was like, we got to get that mad scientist that JoJo's got. So a lot of the other dealers around my competition, couple guys here and there, they were always like, "Oh, you know," and I said, "Hey, I got a monopoly. You guys do what you got to do." "Oh, you got my customers. Oh, blah, 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 whatever. It's free enterprise out here. You know, it's just the way it goes." So I couldn't keep it fast enough. Yeah, it was called Amanda. It's a bud. See, they used to have strains of marijuana that was correlated to uh, um, certain names, scientific names in like botany and science and hydroponic and all that. This was just the Amanda, but the Amanda was the scientific name, but on the streets it was the mad scientist. Yeah. I had these guys' wives knocking on my door. "What did you give?" Purple haze, boy. Purple haze, the purple, Betty. Purple haze, Washington Heights. Washington Heights. Yeah, they had that. No, I better stop. I don't want to say nothing. Yeah. You know, they'd be like, "Don't sell him any of that anymore. He's been laying around on the freaking recliner all day long." I said, "Hey, I don't. What do you want from me? I don't want nobody's damn girlfriends and wives coming over there telling me that their spouse is a vegetable and they think they, you know, what the heck? Leave me alone. Leave me alone." Yeah, they turn into vegetables. Yeah. Some of them were like, "Nah, I just want to have a little buzz." They would get the skunk bud, the skunk. The skunk was good way back then. The skunk was good. When I was real young, I used to get an ounce of Mexican for $40, roll it all into joints, and make $40. I was a little entrepreneur, you know. And in the schoolyard during lunch, go over to the freaking, you know, to the shelter thing there, and you know, and sell out. What are you gonna do? We didn't have money. We didn't have money. We didn't have money. I was just trying to, you know, try to be smart in school and then just hustle what you can, but never no hard drugs. Never nothing hard, nothing hard. And some of the wise guys on there, like Mike said before, the mafia, they didn't sell drugs. The Colombo family sold more drugs than CVS Pharmacy. but I don't want to talk smack because his family's had some bad things with with that, so, but yeah, you admit to everything else under the sun, but no, we don't like, is that righteous? You talk about hits and assaults and all this other tomfoolery, and then, oh no, the mob didn't sell drugs. Like, what is there, some type of moral standard that you're trying to apply to? I know the Colombos did. I know they did. What the hell? Some of these guys were hiding it in my damn car, hiding it in my car with guns and stuff. I would give these guys rides and everything, but if I was inside, they would make these spots in my car, and I told the old man, the boss, and he said, "Hey, I don't want to be driving around, and then there's a sniffer dog, and all of a sudden there's a kilo and a half in my car. No, They thought they were slick. They sold a lot of blow. They sold a lot of blow. And when I was driving these guys around at night, and they're going to strip joints, and they're getting all zooted out of their head, and their nose is redder than freaking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Let me plug this in. Whoops. So I don't lose power. These guys were so sketched out, and they're holding weapons. Yeah, they sold a lot of there was a guy that came to the club. Maybe I'll tell this story next week. A Colombian. Hey, the Colombo family was dealing with a Colombian. That makes sense. And he was a serious cat. And somehow communication got screwed up. And the old man said, "You got to go up to the club and greet this guy because he can't come." I think there was some kind of paranoia, and this guy was at a embassy suites, and he was coming in. They were going to do some business on some K's, and so I had to greet him, but I'm not going to tell the whole thing. And good-looking Colombian, straight, and I was told before, just in small talk, about those Colombians, because the crew knew about them, because they did a lot of blow. If they were doing anything behind the scenes, I don't know, but they would say they had tattoos. Like some gangs, some of those Colombian gangs, they had tattoos that would signify whatever crew, whatever gang, Colombian gang they were with. But this guy was a refined guy that spoke good English. He was a serious cat. And I saw that sign that symbolized assassin. And I was supposed to greet him, but the people weren't there. Then he had to go back to the hotel. And I was like, I want my mommy. I want my mommy. Don't give me with all that, And he had a package, and I well, that's all I can say, because I don't know if I could say, whatever, but I thought pretty good on my feet, and he respected that, and he knew I was off balance, because I saw that damn tattoo. It said assassin. I didn't know if he was coming up there to smash somebody down or anything, but I'm thinking, this is their connection. This is their connection. This guy coming up with the thing. Maybe he it's compensation and stuff like that. But Yeah, well, I'll tell that. It's well, you guys know. They used to have tattoos to signify what cartel they were, and then there'd be another symbol if to show what your thing is. It could be this cartel, and then with one little tattoo, and then the other thing could be red, whatever. But the other one was assassin because like a month before that, they were some of well, these guys in the crew must have knew him too, but the old man was dealing with him, and it was everything was supposed to be hush, never talk about blow, never talk about blow. Never, I didn't talk about smack anyway, nothing anyhow. But these guys were getting big weight. They were getting big weight. That was the Colombo family. That was Mike F's family. He knows that. He was into the gambling ring. I told that story about fixing the ball games, fixing sports and the local college kids that they had under their wing. And, Mike was into the gambling, big gambling ring, and fixing game. Well, he was fixing boxing matches. I don't know what they did 24 hours a day, but I never really heard anybody down like in New York or whatever, or even my godfather saying much about fixing the basketball games. They like to fix boxing matches. It's one-on-one, you know. But yeah, the drugs, they sold more drugs than freaking CVS. I'll say it again. I say it again, man. Yeah. So yeah, I got stuck. I got stuck there. Had to bring the guy back. He was trying to hold me as a pawn or something. He was trying to hold me as a pawn, like I'm kidnapped. Whoa, whoa, whoa! It was crazy. But he was being very nice. But I was more or less being held against my will. You know, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, Josie. So there you have it, folks. Joey Merlino and Dom C going at it. And I like that standing on business with Eric Foss. He breaks it down nice. Not no disrespect or anything, but if I had any kind of business or organization and I needed somebody on my team, I want a guy like that. I'd want a guy like that. Thinkers, thinkers, thinkers. So many guys went away and they could have dodged it so easily. They could have dodged it. And what would happen a lot of times with some of these bad actors in the mob is they were screwing around with women, like strippers and stuff like that. And a lot of these guys, when they're with these strippers in bed or in their house or whatever, they would be telling stories that you know and sometimes with the feds would bring some of these girlfriends, or not, they're just their mistresses. They'd bring these mistresses in and they would shake them down. You're gonna go do this, you're gonna go do that, you did this crime. And they're bluffing these innocent mistresses who could be strippers, and they're bluffing them, you know and then they start, you know they might put a bug in the nightstand lamp or something, and then this guy's going off, and he's trying to be cool in front of the stripper because a lot of them didn't have an IQ. Some of these guys had the IQ of a frog, and then he's just telling on himself, and then he gets picked up, and it's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. Yeah. If I was at the club and there was innocent conversation, and somebody would say, like, to me, because if you have a conversation and you're talking about something, fla da fla da fla, fla da fla da fla, and the communication is a certain way, it could be a conspiracy charge, just like that. It could be a conspiracy charge. But just, they used to sweep, they used to sweep the club for bugs and everything, but you just never know. So sometimes, you know, I'd just be like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, Jojo, what are you trying to act stupid? I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And they're hollering, oh, you dumb bastard. I don't know what you're talking about. If you say something the wrong way, that's conspiracy. So, and the RICO Act and all that, no, I don't. You can holler all you want, buddy. And they're drinking and they're talking smack, and I'm like going, and they're going, "What are you stupid?" My car can be bugged. I had my car swept, but yeah, you don't know. You don't know. I'm not rolling the dice for nobody. You could call me stupid. You could call me a punk. You could call me crazy, but no. You say the wrong words, and all of a sudden they're trying to put some kind of conspiracy bullshit like that. No, no. They used to get you know, they got so many things, Josie Wales. Well, they had a guy, the old man had a guy that would come in. I told him to do my car. I happened to go up there on a Sunday just to meet the old man. Nothing to do, no errands or nothing. And there was a dude in the front and he had these things and everything. And so we went outside and he goes, yeah, the guy's cleaning he's checking for stuff. And I go, wow, yeah. And he was like a, freaking genius dude that was doing it and all. And he was sweeping it. He was sweeping the place. I says, well, I don't trust your crew. I don't trust your crew. Well, sweep my car. Sweep my car. I hope they don't have a gun. They would hide guns and boom, boom, boom. They'd hide that kind of stuff in there. They were slick. Because sometimes I'd leave my car there, everything open, and we played crazy mobster basketball. I was athletic, and some of these guys said they were athletic in their younger years. So I left my car there, and we're playing a little way down the street, and somebody would be cute and put something in my car, and then when I drive them somewhere, they'll say, "Oh, let's go in and have a drink," and then someone else would take that out of my car. I don't want to be an unknown courier without getting paid, but I wouldn't do that anyway. I wouldn't want to do that anyways. Real slick, real slick, real slick. I was trying to tell them guys, if you're doing a deal, you don't have to be at the same place at the same time. I'd just say, for example, or if you're ever going to do this, why do it like this? You could go to a restaurant, bathroom, the ceiling, leave your stuff up there, go back and eat, have the other guy come in, go up there and get it, leave the money up there, and then later on when you're done and with your meal, go over there. You just did an exchange. Nobody knows about it. It's just two guys that went to the bathroom. Nobody knows about it. You don't have to be in the open doing these exchange deals. People going down so silly. I left something in another guy's house. I had to at a time because I got paranoid, and then I would watch Monday Night Football, and I just said, Yeah, can I watch hey, yeah, maybe I'll hang out next week to watch Monday Night Football and then go get my stuff because my stuff was still there. It was well hidden, but I was like, you know, two people don't have to meet to do a deal. No, no, uh-uh. Mm-mm. So there you have it, folks. Thank you, Josie Wales, for hanging out. Standing on business with Eric Foss. I know I didn't get your permission to do the video, show your video like that, but I try to do it in good light. You know, I don't, it's like hijack your video, Eric, but you know what I mean. So thank you for coming in, Eric. Benny, the purple haze. Oh, that purple haze. Purple haze was all in my ear. Josie Wales. Sagittarius Journey. We got California, Vinny Hernandez. EB23, MM. Michael O'Brien, thank you. Jimbo Slice, Cugini, Dom the Donkey. I'm being juvenile. I know that. You know, Debbie, thank you, honey. Chose standing on business with Eric Foss. He's got a good channel. He's got good stories, man. That guy's a smart guy. That guy's a knowledgeable dude. Yeah. We got to get our notifications somehow, Eric. I don't know what the hell's going on. My subscribers that hit the notification bell, they don't get notified. I think I'm still in this, they slapped my hand and I think I got to be a good boy but I'm not doing no politics anymore. I'm going to tell a million mob stories before I do that. I ain't going out like that anymore. On views, on videos, I got a small channel. I got censored like that for videos that didn't get squat for views. And they turned my ticker off for 18 months. I went down for nothing. I ain't doing that again. John Martin, how you feeling? Biggie Small. EB. Yeah, so that's it, folks. We got some stories. My cousin Vic did some time. He took a beef. He took a beef. They were doing high level stuff. There's corporate crimes and stuff like that. Federal corporate crimes that you can, but there was 3 guys involved, but he took behind the scenes and with the lawyers, he got paid to do, this was my father's part of the family, which my mom was a single mother that raised us 5 by herself. My father, God rest his soul, he wasn't but he did time and he got paid to go do some years. So the other 2 guys wouldn't get they wouldn't pursue the charges. So maybe we'll refreshen that one up there. So there you have it. Thank you, Eric Foss. Standing on business, check him out. His channel's rising. I got the smallest channel on planet Earth, but we're gonna rise up. Thank you. I know I showed your video, but it was in good faith to just hijack like that. That's I like. Check him out, and we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. I ain't gonna really bash whoever wants to watch Mike, Sammy, and Chicklets. Go right ahead. But if you haven't watched Standing on Business with Eric Foss, check him out. Check him out. He's good. He's good. So there you have it, folks. It's holiday season. Don't rock and roll too hard. Be careful on that. I mean, I'm older. My best friends have passed away. My mom has been passed for a while, And Christmas might not look like yesterday's Christmas, and you get depressed, and then you might want to do substances. Just hang in there, folks. We'll all meet again. We'll all meet again. So there you have it, folks. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Merry Hanukkah, or Happy Hanukkah. And I really appreciate your support. All I ask is hit the like button or something, or like that, whatever. There's a thing, there's a Cash App in the, just whatever. There's a Cash App in there, but I know people are stressed. I don't want to come off sideways or anything. But if you want to get me a cup of coffee, it'll come in handy. I appreciate it, but it's all right. Just hit the like or subscribe or something like that, or hit the notification bell if it even works. So we'll keep rocking and rolling on that, because my people they hit the notification bell, but they're not notified when I do my show. I don't know. Maybe I'm still in YouTube still. I gotta be a good boy, so I gotta be a good boy, and I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna swear and do all that stuff. So I appreciate the community that comes in here, and I get to socialize a little, because I'm older. I'm older. You see, you get older, the people aren't around anymore. I'm a social person, and at least I get to have communication and dialogue. I talk to my chat. I talk to my chat. And a lot of times somebody makes a good point, because I don't have editing. I just do this willy-nilly. I don't have nothing like that. So it helps me out, where I can elaborate on something that they might say in the comments. So it's a good exchange. So there you have it, folks. Stay strong, tune in, and we're gonna rock and roll, and we'll reminisce about the old days, and I have some more stories for you guys. And Eric Foss, keep up the good work. I'm gonna go watch the rest of that video there, because that's good juice over there. That's pretty good juice. So, all right, folks, have a safe holiday, and Merry Christmas to everybody. And thank you for your support. God bless you all.